Callers and welcome. This is CJS350 Emergency Management. I'm Brian Gazzetta and I will be your professor for the next 8 weeks. This is our syllabus review video, and what I wanted to do was just take a few minutes to review the syllabus with you so that you have a good understanding of how this course is going to navigate and hopefully answer some of the questions you might have on what we need to be successful in this course. So quickly, this course will cover the principles of emergency management as practiced in the state of California, as well as the county, state, and federal government. The chief components of this course are the establishment of protocols and procedures, planning and preparedness, intergovernmental responsibilities, developing a response, and mitigating disasters and recovery. As we look closer into the syllabus, you will have my contact information, and there I am, Brian Gazzetta or bgazzetta at calbaptist.edu. That is going to be our sole means of communication, and I'll say it now, and you'll probably hear this many times throughout this course. I'm like each one of you. Anytime that you send an email, something close to me dings, bings, vibrates. All of us have a phone, a computer. We're constantly connected, and I'm no different. I know that communication is critical to you, and when you have a question, you would like to get a reply back as soon as possible, and I will do everything I can to get back to you as quickly as possible, because I know, as all of you, and I'm one of them as well, that us here in the online and professional studies, we're juggling school and career, and that we need timely communication. Here we will now go to the required text. We can see that Introduction to Emergency Management, the 6th edition, is what we're working with. And hopefully by the time you're hearing this, you have already got your textbook and you become familiar with it. You can take your time and look through all of the objectives of this course and the student learning outcomes and the university student outcomes that are associated with it. Then we will have a brief overview of our assignments. I will be submitting videos to you at the beginning of each one of our weeks, and in each one of our weeks we will go specifically into what each one of these deliverables entail for that week. So brief here, but when on our weekly videos I'll go into much more detail. You're asked to do an introduction, a multimedia presentation. The next is discussion boards. Remember, for discussion boards, for the sake of this course, that replaces the dialogue that we would have if we were in person. And because we're online, we need to replace that dialogue. And we do that in the form of a discussion board. So the discussion boards are critical for us in order to communicate and collaborate. When you're given a discussion board assignment, there are 3 portions to it. The original post, which needs to at all times be academic and scholarly, filled with content, and I feel that you cannot do that with anything less than 250 words. So that's where that number comes from. The other 2 are your replies. So for every post, you are then going to reply to 2 of your colleagues. The replies need to also have substance and be scholarly. I'm not looking for good jobs or I agree. And I believe that with substance comes a word count. And between 100 and 150 words is where I believe you hit the amount of words in order to have a reply with some sort of substance. So those are our discussion boards. Our journal exercise are often what I would consider a paper in which you are going to have one-on-one communications as if you were talking to me. And those have a word count of 300 words. There are also 4 written assignments in this course. Each one of the written assignments I will go into great detail on those weekly videos on what are expected. But we have one on media and emergency management, we have a second on private and public collaboration, one on Katrina's comparisons, and finally one on the 911 Commission report. We also have a series of quizzes through the first 6 weeks. The quizzes are going to look at not only the coursework, but also what we have read that week. And there's a quiz and a final exam that is based upon those quizzes, but in a cumulative fashion in week 8. We also have a critical assignment approval, and like all of our ops classes, there is a critical assignment. I will make an additional video that outlines the critical assignment. So once again, we are on the same page of exactly what the expectations are for the big point major assignment, the critical assignment in this course. We then have a breakdown of how the grading works and how we get to 1,000 points based upon those assignments. and how they are broke down as a letter grade. We then look at the course schedule. And what's important that we need to identify here is for this course, we are broke down into weeks. Each week starts on Monday and ends on Sunday. So we have 7 days each week to finish our assignments. Like I said earlier, I will provide each week a video at the beginning of the week which outlines the assignments that week, the deliverables, the expectations, any special lecture content, and you will get those at the beginning of each week. You'll outline my expectations and what you need to do to be successful over that week. Then you have the remainder of the week to complete those assignments. They are due on the 7th day, which is the Sunday. So oftentimes you'll hear me say that all of your assignments are due by Sunday at 11:59. And that's because we work on that calendar week. After we get through that week, we will then start the next week, and then that week too will then go for 7 days, starting on Monday and ending on Sunday at 11:59. And that you're going to see that stands true each week, all the way up until week 8, where we will have a few days or a few assignments that need to be turned in earlier. That's due to the fact that these need to get turned in, graded, and a final grade submitted so that you are done with this course and able to go on to your next course. But I will give plenty of reminders as we get into week 8 of the changes and the early due dates. Take some time and read through the expectations on professionalism. You can take some time and talk and read through the regular and effective communications. I'll tell you though that when it comes to feedback, when it comes to email, I will do my best to get replies back to you as soon as possible, with the maximum time of 24 hours. But oftentimes, if you send me an email, I will try to get back to you as soon as possible because I know how important communication is. And when it comes to grading, how I grade is I do all my grading on Mondays. So, as we talked about earlier, your work week is Monday through Sunday. Once I get all the work submitted on Sunday evening at 11:59, I will grade all of it on Monday. I know that you as online and professional students, you want to have quick, timely feedback so that you can digest the information, absorb it, and then move on to the next week. And I will so that's how I handle things. I do wait till the end of the week so I get all of the assignments, and then I will start grading. So you should have all your grades by Monday from the previous week. Late assignments, each one of us are mandated to have a late assignment. So let's take a second and go through that. No late assignments will be accepted without instructor approval or a bona fide emergency and at the sole discretion of the professor. Computer, printer, email, and similar technical problems are not acceptable excuses for late work. If you anticipate a problem, illness, potential family emergencies, etc., let the professor know ASAP. Email messages are checked regularly. No make-up work opportunities will be given except under the most extenuating circumstances and at the sole discretion of the professor. No assignments will be submitted will receive a 0 and calculated into the gradebook. Acceptance of late work cannot receive full credit no matter how perfect it is. Late assignments will be deducted 10% of the point value of the given assignment for every day it is late. No late assignments will be accepted beyond 1 week or 7 days of the original due date. No exceptions. Discussion boards intended to promote dialogue among participants cannot be submitted past the predetermined due dates because of the required interaction, and late work will not be accepted after the course end date. You heard a lot of no's and nots, and just to summarize that, it is all based upon communication. So if you have a problem, you have an emergency, you have an issue, meeting the deadlines, and the deadlines being the end of the week, just communicate with me. Talk to me, send me an email, and let me know your problem, and we will adjust accordingly. Once you get accepted late work, we cannot get 100% anymore. We get at least 10% deduction per day, and that's only for 7 days. Because after 7 days, we've moved on, and there wouldn't be any value really with the 10% rule as we move forward. Just communicate with me. Let me know, and we will work through any of those. The only caveat is discussion boards. Discussion boards are interaction with your colleagues. So if you were to submit late work, it wouldn't make sense because there would be no interaction. So that's why there is no late work accepted when it comes to discussion boards. But at the end of the day, just communicate. If you have an emergency, let me know. We will be able to work through any problem as long as you communicate. Communicate is the key. There's very little we can do if you're not communicating. There's some etiquette, academic honesty that we need to talk about or that you can go through, and any students with disabilities that you can address as well. So there you have it. That is our syllabus discussion or overview for our course here on emergency management. I look forward to the weeks to come. If you have any questions when it comes or in regards to the syllabus, please reach out. There'll be several videos that you will have moving forward, and I look forward to the next 8 weeks with you. Bye for now.